morning. It's 9:30 Sunday morning, and I've come to Langdale today. I'm going to go up Bowfell via the Climbers Traverse. It's a little known route. It's not marked on the map as such. If you know it's there, then it's no surprise to you really. But if you're not from the area and you're just going off the map, you're going to miss it. It's a good little route up to Bowfell. It goes up, so you go up the band and then you hook off a right just before you get to the horseshoe that takes you up to Bowfell. You come underneath the buttress and then you climb up alongside the Great Slab. I think a few races, I think the Scarfell Sky Race uses it. I'm not entirely sure, I've never run the race so I couldn't tell you. But it's it's my favourite way to get up Bowfell, and Bowfell's probably my favourite fell. It's the first fell I ever climbed when I first started coming to the lakes. And it holds a special place in my heart. So I left the house in a bit of a rush this morning because I didn't think I'd find a spot to park in Langdale, but it turns out the car park was pretty empty when I arrived at 9 o'clock. I'd checked the Mountain Weather Information Service, it's a bit of a mouthful, MWIS last night, which said it's going to be a bit of a crappy day. But when I woke up, the sun was beaming through my windows, and I thought, you know what? I think I'm just going to try it out and see what happens. So yeah, I decided to come up here. The wind's going to be pretty strong up on the ridge, I should imagine. Just looking at the trees down here, and it's blowing up a bit. So up on the top it's going to be blowing a bit of a bugger, I should think. But that's a risk I'm quite happy to take really. If it's too bad up there, I'll just drop off. But fingers crossed, it should be okay. You know, MWIS, they get it right some days. Sometimes they paint the worst picture, and you get up here and you're like, it's not so bad after all. So 6 of one, half a dozen in the other, and you've got to use your own common sense really, and take it. Right, let's get going. So MWIS definitely had the wind warning on point. Wind's picking up as I'm getting up to the summit, but then that was to be expected. Hopefully my sound setup's working for you and you can hear me pretty clear. But I'm just going to show you where I'm going. So to the left here is the main route up to Bowfell. But you might not be able to see here, but just up to the right hand side there's a small path that leads up to the Climbers Traverse.
Here we are using poor man's drone footage, aka Google Earth, and as you can see quite clearly here, the main path, the larger path there on the left, is the one that leads up to Bowfell. It's the one most people take. The smaller path there on the right is the Climbers Traverse. It's a little faint at first, a little difficult to pick up, but once you have, it leads straight to the Great Slab, which you can quite clearly see there. And on the right hand side of the Great Slab is a path. That's the one I took, and it took me straight to the summit.
So once you've found the path, it's been paved with blocks, so it's a pretty easy ascent. Yeah, and I'm pretty sheltered around here, but yeah, as you can see, I'll show you here. It goes along just there. I can't really see very well on this camera, but I hope you can see a bit. But what a view. Yeah, it's quite a precarious little route, which makes it all the more fun. It's got a nice drop off, as you can see on my right hand side, and yeah, it just makes things a bit spicy. Coming up here during the winter is interesting, that's for sure. So following the trail brings you to the base of the Great Slab, which is just around here. So the Great Slab, I'm not entirely sure what rock it is. I used to know, I studied geology back in the day. But on a dry day you can actually ascend up the slab itself. Today we're going to go up the rock field, which is just to the right of it, if you're going up, of course. Yeah, but yeah, when it's wet and slippery, it's a bit of a bugger. But today, yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, it's up there. Nature's water stop. Days like this are great because you can just keep filling up your bottle when you come across stuff like this, and I haven't got a problem with drinking this. I've never had a problem in the past. Last famous words. Oh my God. Proper blowout. Yeah. It's a good workout for the legs. This route. There you go, that's the Great Slab in all its glory. And Bowfell's just up here. The wind hasn't actually hit, oh here we go. There's the wind. Yeah, so I'm not going to spend long on Bowfell Summit. Just going to up there and then I'm coming up and heading down to Bleaton. It's not too bad up here. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Alright, heading down there now. Yeah, it's trying to get momentum down on these technical parts, but when I say technical parts, what I really mean is rocky and dodgy as fuck. Ooh, I swore. Oops, sols. Yeah, maintaining your balance and all that sort of jazz, coming down this sort of stuff, and not smashing your face in, is what I class as technical terrain. AKA, I'm just trying to say it's rocky, really. So I've just come bombing down Rossett Gill. I've not done a fast downhill like that in a long time. My camera keeps telling me I'm going to run out of battery power at some point. I've only got 10% on this thing, so hopefully it won't die before I get back to the car. But yeah, like I was saying, I've just come down Rossett Gill from Angle Tarn, and yeah, awesome downhill. I've not done a fast technical downhill like that in a long time. Yeah, because I've got a few niggles in the knees, but awesome. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, today's only really been a short day. A quick blast up Bowfell via the Climbers Traverse. Got the wind right in my face here, so hopefully this microphone gear is going to be working well. And if it does, yeah, I'll be really pleased. So yeah, that's it for today's run. Just short 7 to 8 miles. The Climbers Traverse and down Rossett Gill.